on average, we spend anywhere between in Australia, about $1,000 to $2,000 a year on clothing. And that's clothing alone. That's not including accessories. So you want to make sure that everything you're buying, you're going to wear and wear again, not just one off.
Do you want to earn more? Work less and enjoy what you do each day. It's no secret, it can be done. This podcast with Dr. T will not only educate and inspire you, it will also teach you how to do more and be more with the time you already have. It will be like a shot of adrenaline straight into the heart of your business. Here is your host, Tyson Franklin.
Hi, I'm Tyson Franklin, and welcome to this week's episode of It's No Secret with Dr. T. Now, I have a friend of mine on the show this week who is a local to Cairns. Her name is Gerlinda Stella, and she is a personal stylist. In fact, she has travelled all around the world through USA, Europe, and Asia, and she has learnt countless style rules and also has learnt how to break all the rules. So, Gerlinda, how are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for having me on your show.
Did you like my intro?
I loved the intro. It makes me sound very professional.
You are very professional. And one thing I want to point out, guys, if you're listening to this now and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh no, we've got a style person on here, I don't need that. Yes, you do.
Your style really communicates who you are as a person. I think often people say, you should be judged more on what you do, but everybody judges on how we look, because the first impression really does make a big difference when people look and see us.
I remember Michael Hanrahan, who was my publisher, and he said, years ago they used to say you can't judge a book by a cover. He said, but these days you can. If the cover's really bad, usually it's an indication that the book's not very good. So does that apply to people as well? Not always, but majority of times.
Yeah, look, there's been countless studies done on the fact that people that dress and look the part are more likely to get promotions, get the job to begin with, and also get further ahead. When you put pride in your appearance and take pride in the way you look, people notice that, and it looks like if you can make an effort with how you look, then obviously you put an effort into everything that you do.
So when you're talking style with people, is it just clothing, or do you look at the grooming as well, or do you try and match the two together?
I do it from a total perspective. So when I do work one-on-one with a client, we'll talk about what their goals are, so what they want to achieve in their life. So it comes down to a lot about lifestyle. So obviously if you're a stay-at-home mum versus a corporate high flyer, your wardrobes are going to be really different. So we talk about lifestyle, and then we talk about the things that suit the individual, such as their colors. So somebody that's got blonde hair and blue eyes is going to have a really different color scheme in their wardrobe to somebody with dark hair and dark eyes. And again, body shapes with men and women are very different, and that also comes into play. And then the big thing that I find is people's personalities are so different, and I really love helping people express their personality through their clothing.
Okay, so sometimes someone might be matched to a particular color because of the hair in their eyes, but are you saying then you bring their personality into it? So two people with blonde hair and blue eyes, you might dress differently based on personality.
Correct. Yes. So people's unique personality profile or style that I bring it out for them has nothing to do with the way they look. It has more to do with how they feel on the inside and what they want to express to the world.
Okay, so somebody could wear something that another person might look at and go, "No, that shirt's really bad," and they go, "But I feel bloody awesome when I wear it." That's a good thing.
That's a great thing, and it really does come down to making those decisions for yourself. I think we're not taught this when we're young. We're not taught how to. I think we're taught how to dress ourselves in, do your buttons up, but not how to dress for you as a person. And I think it's really dictated in terms of the fashion and also what other people are wearing and maybe other people's judgments. I've worked with a lot of people that are new to business and have gotten in and thought, okay, well, if I'm working with business people, then I should be wearing, black pants and a white top. But if they're, you say, a creative, such as a let me think of somebody that would be in the creative industry, maybe web design.
Yeah.
People don't expect you to be wearing black pants and a white top. They might have an expectation that you would be a little bit creative or quirky, but then you go back to, well, how do you want to appear? And most of the time, I find people don't want to look like everyone else. They do want to look unique and they do want to stand out from the crowd.
I'm glad we touched on this subject, because this is something that my wife and I clash about occasionally, that I do have certain shirts that I actually feel really comfortable in. And when I look in the mirror, I see a sexy beast, and my wife goes, "You're not really going to leave the house wearing that shirt, are you?" So can sometimes your own perception be wrong, and you need that person telling you, "No, you're not looking like a sexy beast. You look like you've just got out of bed."
I think for sure. I think sometimes we can sort of look in the mirror with rose-colored glasses. I often joke that the difference when men and women go shopping is that guys will go into the shop and the shop assistant will be like, "Wow, you look so handsome." And the guy says, "Right, I'll buy 5 of those shirts."
Yep.
But a girl will walk into the shop and the shop assistant says, "Wow, you look fabulous." And then the girl just thinks, "Oh my gosh, she must be lying." So I think when it comes to men and women in terms of why their purchasing habits and how they think they look in the mirror can be a little bit different. And I often joke, if my own husband looks in the mirror, and I'm sure he looks and they're going, "Wow, you look so handsome today," and he could not even be wearing a shirt and think that. So definitely we can maybe put our own glasses on ourselves and think, "Oh, that's okay," or "That will do." And it is good to get other people's opinions. But when you find the confidence to know why it looks good, that's what I found the most fascinating thing about becoming a stylist, was knowing why I had an innate ability to help people choose things that look great on them. Once I was trained, it put all those little dots and pieces, all the things together so I could see the bigger picture. So if there could be reasons why you like that particular shirt, explain the shirt to me and I'll see how I might be able to do a consult over the
Oh no,
the
I would say for me, like, I like bright colours. If you didn't already know that, I like shirts that are comfortable. So I don't like things that touch me inappropriately. So I like comfort and I like colour. So for me to wear a shirt that's a little bit baggier without being extremely over the top, like wearing a tent. But yeah, that's sort of like it. So I actually have the shirt in question is this Fijian shirt that I bought in Fiji that I like, but my wife and daughter don't like. But every time I wear it, I will usually say to somebody else, "What do you think of the shirt?" And they go, "Oh, I like that." And I go, "Tick, there's another person that liked it." They might just be being kind though.
Well, it also could be the fact that because we do all have different tastes, that when, Christine and Tia look at it, they might think, "Oh, that's not their style."
Yeah.
So they would never wear anything like that. But for you, it makes you feel good. And so therefore I would say it's a big tick. And again, it depends where you're wearing it as well. So from a lifestyle perspective, if I'm imagining this Fijian shirt, I would be thinking it would be a potentially weekend thing.
Oh yeah, it's not something that I'm wearing to a wedding. But what's funny about that particular shirt and other shirts is sometimes there's a shirt that I really like that I'll wear, and then other times I'll actually put it on and I go, "You know what? I don't actually like it today." Is that normal?
Oh, 100%. And I think we do go off feeling. Color is a really powerful tool when it comes to creating vibe and feeling and emotion and personality in clothing. So it could be that particular day you might not want to stand out as much, or you might feel you want to wear something that's a little bit more subdued. So definitely each day we can feel a little bit different in what we want to wear as well.
Okay, so let's move on to, this is a small business podcast. It's not a fashion show about Tyson Franklin. So even though people have learnt more about me than they probably should. Okay, let's move this into small business. Say there's a corporate uniform. I think most businesses should have some form of corporate uniform with their logo proudly on the front, telling people where they work, the business that they own, so when they're out and about in the streets, people see it. What's your thinking around corporate uniforms? Should there be a lot of variation so it suits all the different body shapes and sizes?
So I have 2 schools of thought on this one.
Yep.
So I do think that when you initially go into your business, it's really important to create that brand and definitely choose colours, not because you've chosen them in your logo, but because they actually do enhance your skin. I often go into, I don't want to name places, but into, say, a doctor's office, and mustard in particular is a really hard color for a lot of people to wear. It can actually make their skin look ill. And the amount of doctor's surgeries, and I think, why are you making your staff look sick? So,
yeah, and that's why some of the people behind the counter, I think, behave like they were weaned on vinegar, and they don't have a friendly mannerism because they get dressed in the morning and they're depressed.
They could very well be depressed when they put on, the shirt that they don't like. So when it comes to choosing corporate uniforms, especially if you do have a small amount of staff, really important to choose a colour that suits a lot of people. There are lots of colours that are called universal colours, and that will work for a lot of different skin tones.
It's just why a lot of companies go simply black and white, because it's easy.
Exactly, because often they will find it's easy. It doesn't make you stand out as much, but it is easy. And black and white do play good roles in certain businesses. So, if you're in security, black's a really great color because it's a safe color and it looks really professional.
And you can't see the blood.
Oh no, maybe that was a bad example.
Yeah, so when you've just flogged the crap out of someone and they've splattered on you, you don't see it on your black shirt. Makes sense.
Oh. Although doctors wear white, don't they? So if you imagine a doctor in a white coat,
that's so they can see the blood. So if they make a mistake and something starts shooting out, they go straight away. Oh yeah, okay, I cut a little bit deep there.
So I think that when you wear a uniform, if you've just gone into business, it is great to have. It doesn't actually have to be on the shirt. It could be a badge. So it could be something that is put on there to let people know your name. That's really helpful when you're first meeting people.
Yeah.
As your business grows, though, I do prefer to get the business owners, once they're at that point that they're stepping out of the business, to then not wear the uniform anymore. So there comes a point in time in your business where if you're not the one in it and doing it, you're the overseer, that you really want to be seen as the person that's looking after it. And by the time you've built up your name, I don't think it should be about what you wear. I think it should be more, in terms of about the, if you don't wear that particular polo with the name on it, that people aren't going to recognize you. But I do think for an initial branding, it is a really great idea. But then as your business progresses, I would hope your brand as who you are and as a person would shine through over the uniform.
Okay, that's an interesting point. So what you're saying is they're wearing the uniform to start with, say a polo shirt, for example, the correct color, logo on the front, as they're building the business. But as they start stepping away and they have a team in there who is now running the business, they shouldn't probably be wearing their polo shirt when they're out and about, because they're no longer actually working in there.
Correct. So if you think of someone like Richard Branson, he would not wear that unless he was doing a promo or a shoot or something where he was required to look like part of the team. But most likely he would not be wearing the uniform. That's
very interesting. To be honest, I've never looked at it that way, but I probably did it without even thinking that when I had my podiatry business, I always had my shirt on. But then as I moved away, I used to wear the shirt all the time. But as time went on, I slowly started getting back into my civilian gear, especially if I was going to a lunch. Sometimes I would go there. I just want to blend in and network with people. I didn't want to talk about my business.
Well, the other thing I find too, if you are in a networking situation, I think it's really great if you, sometimes it can work with or against you, but I think if you don't have the branding on, you do then have that opportunity for people to then say, oh, what do you do? Where are you from? Whereas if you've got your name and the logo and everything written all over you, you could also be missed because people make assumptions straight away. So I think it does give you the opportunity to then, have a conversation. And I talk to my clients too about wearing things that do make you stand out a little bit. So it could be, for a gentleman, it could be a really cool watch, something that's really awesome and stands out. Or for a girl, it might be a necklace or a pair of earrings. But that gives people something to compliment you on and that you can talk about that's not, like you said, business doesn't always have to be business related when you're trying to create relationships with other people.
And I think that makes sense too, because I know when we had our polo shirts, and I used to go to networking events when I was in the thick of the business, and you go along to that event and you're wearing a polo shirt and everybody else is wearing a business shirt and a business jacket, the occasional person have a tie, and you would actually feel slightly underdressed for that occasion. So then I eventually got a business shirt that had our logo on it. But even over time, I slowly stopped wearing that because I wanted people to talk to me not always just about the business. I could talk to them about the business if that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yes, and I think that's a really great point. And I love that you said that you got the business shirt for the business event, because that does then go into that lifestyle. So suiting the occasion and where you are. Just because, when you think of a doctor, if you walk in the doctor's office and they're looking really nice, you're more likely to trust them. Whereas if they were looking really daggy, in a pair of ruggers or something, you might think, can I really trust this guy? So when you're in a business scenario, you do want to make sure that you are looking that little bit extra, that little bit better than the person that you're with.
Okay, so when you're doing styling with people, what's the difference between sort of like their professional styling and their personal styling? Or if you're getting someone for, say, media styling, is there a different thought process that goes into that?
Definitely, because when you think of how you are in our lives, we have our work, and then we have our friendship groups, and then maybe we have a partner, and then some of us will have kids. And so in all of those different areas, we play different roles. And so when it comes to styling in we style for those different roles, still bringing out who the person is, but it's for the situation. So what you wear to work is going to be very different to what you wear to your kid's sports game. And often where people get stuck in their wardrobes is they can be quite good with the business side, because they're wearing, those basic corporate pieces like business pants and a business shirt.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to weekends, people struggle because then they feel maybe they're a little bit daggy. But there are many ways that you can make all of those things transition and work really well, so that if your business style clothing is working for your lifestyle, it would be that maybe the shirt that you're wearing, you could chuck on with a pair of shorts and it can transition through, or you could wear with a pair of jeans. So it doesn't always have to be really segregated. It can actually blend together and create a really awesome capsule flowing wardrobe.
Yes, I didn't realise how stylish I was.
Is this making you feel good? I've got to get into your wardrobe.
I'm feeling fantastic. No, I always say to Christine, it's funny, when I'm buying a shirt, I say, anyone listening, Christine is my wife, if you haven't mentioned that beforehand. When I'm buying a shirt, I'll put it on. Christine goes, that'll look really nice when you're doing a talk or a presentation somewhere. And I go, yeah, no, it would. I put it on and go, yeah, I think I look pretty damn good. But then I'll say to Christine, I go, best thing about the shirt is I reckon I could wear this with shorts and a pair of thongs and get away with it. And Christine's like, oh, please don't. Because in her head, she's now seen that shirt as that's purely a shirt that should be worn at a business event and up on stage talking. Whereas I'm looking at a shirt that is really versatile, that I could wear to a talk, but then later that afternoon I could throw a pair of shorts on and still, and a pair of, not joggers, like white skate shoes, that's my thing, and make the shirt more versatile.
Yes, and that's how you want your wardrobe to be. So you're getting, I guess, bang for your buck, because on average we spend anywhere between in Australia about $1,000 to $2,000 a year on clothing. And that's clothing alone. That's not including accessories. So you want to make sure that everything you're buying, you're going to wear and wear again, not just one off.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And you don't need to, like I was on your website and you had so anyone that wants to hunt Gerlinda down, you can just go to gerlinda.com.au. That's Gerlinda. That's correct, isn't it?
That is correct.
That is correct. And I was on there and you had a photograph on one of your blogs and you had two outfits, one that cost $100 and something, $180 I think it was, and one that was only like $38. They looked pretty much the same. When I was looking, they looked exactly the same, but you were just showing that you don't always have to have fashion brands to actually look good.
That's correct. You can really hunt around and find some really good pieces. You don't have to spend thousands on a new wardrobe. And if you are at the point that you're in business and there's lots of things that we're spending our money on, but your image is a really important one to spend, to at least budget and put some money aside to look great, and you don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, I bought a shirt, must have been 10 or 15 years ago. I still have it and I still wear it because I like it. And is it out of style? I don't know. I'll ask you next time I see you. But you've probably seen me wear it. But what's funny, when I bought that shirt, it was like a $20 shirt. It was pretty cheap. And I was getting on an aeroplane. I was getting on a plane to fly from Cairns to Brisbane. And as I got on, this lady stopped me in the aisle. You get paused because someone doesn't know whether to put their bag up or under the seat. And this lady stopped me, grabbed my shirt, touched. She says, is that a Morrissey shirt? And I think he's a stylist, isn't he? Or he's a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And I said, geez, you've got a good eye. That is. And Christine's behind me just shaking her head. And we sat down and said, like my Morrissey shirt? Because I don't know if she was fussed on it when I first bought it or not. But now it's always, I was wearing it last weekend at the Gold Coast and I was talking to Christine over FaceTime. And she said, oh, I see you got your Morrissey shirt on. So
The thing.
So, yeah, it's all in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
It is, and I think too, I mean, in terms of the longevity of clothing as well, I think it's awesome when people do tell me they've managed to keep things for 15 years, but there's not a lot of clothing that will last that long these days. So, and fashion can be quite fickle and it changes quite quickly. In men's, it's pretty simple. You've either got, either the thin ties in or the thick ties in, or skinny pants are in or straight pants are in.
Just don't throw anything out.
It just, it'll recycle, it'll repeat itself.
Yeah.
Whereas for girls, everything changes just that little bit. So peplums are in and then peplums are out, or tassel earrings are in at the moment. And I keep wondering when they're going to be out one day. So I think that you do want to have things that last a long time, but you also want to have things that you put into your wardrobe to keep it refreshed and keep it moving and keep you modern, just like we do in business. We keep learning and growing and getting better at what we're good at.
Yeah, I know what you mean about pants. I used to have a pair of MC Hammer pants until eventually I think Christine said to me, you can't touch this. And, and she threw them out. One thing, you had this workshop that I thought was interesting that I saw on your website, and it was, does my butt look big in this? What's that all about?
So I have a Facebook group, mainly majority of the group are women. So it's just a space where women can share, and men if they want to get in there, and share their fashion finds, or ask questions. If does this suit me, or does this one suit me? So people can do comparison shots. And because of that group, I thought it'd be really fun to create a workshop based around a lot of the fears that women have, and I think it's that thing about guys looking in the mirror and going, hey, handsome, whereas a lot of girls look in the mirror and find the bit that they don't like and they focus on that one bit. So the Does My Butt Look Big in this workshop was really about celebrating women's bodies and how awesome our differences are and how boring it would be if we're all the same, and how we can embrace the bits that we love and enhance them and stop focusing on the bits that we don't like.
And I hate it when Christine says to me, does my butt look big in this? And it's a loaded question. I can't win. As soon as she says that, I go, what am I supposed to say? Doesn't matter what I say, it's not going to be right. But that's just a classic saying, isn't it? Does my butt look big in this?
Well, look, the reason I called it that was because, before I was a stylist, I'd gone shopping and spent hours and hours looking for an outfit to wear to an event. And I thought I found the dress. My mum said it looked great, and the shop assistant assured me it looked amazing. And I got home and put it on for my 3 beautiful children and sort of did the spin around and said, what do you think? And the kids looked at me, and the oldest said, oh, Mum, that makes your butt look big. She said, not just big, but huge.
Oh, nice.
And needless to say,
no pocket money that week.
No. And I think from that moment, I really started to, well, number one, I always turned around in the mirror from then on. I always checked my behind. So, but also it made me realize that it was actually funny, and we did laugh about it, and I didn't take offense because I realized it was the dress. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I do have a bit of a booty, but it was definitely, I'm blaming the dress. I always say to my clients, we're blaming the clothes. If it looks awful, it's not you, it's the clothes.
I must admit, I've done the same thing. You've bought a shirt, and at the time you put it on, but I don't know, for some reason it felt good or it looked good, and then you get it home, you put it on, you go, I don't know. Maybe can your mood affect how you're thinking about your clothing and colours and just what's going on in your head?
Oh, for sure. And I would say you might have even been tricked by the sales assistant when they said, oh, you look so handsome. You'd be like, wow, I do. And then you get home.
That's when they say, oh, geez, can I get your phone? You look that good in that shirt. Can I get your phone number? Yeah. That's happened never.
I think it would happen for sure. It would be a really great sales technique. That would be a good
wouldn't
shot.
it? Yeah, you look that good. I need your phone number.
Your mood does. I do think that I always talk to my clients about how do you feel in it? How does it make you feel? Not if it's comfortable, not if the fabric feels soft and nice, but how does it make you feel?
Yeah.
And that depicts their day. So if they're feeling, it could be if you're going, out with your other half or your partner. For a girl, it would be, maybe they're feeling really sexy, and for a guy, maybe you're feeling a bit magnetic, and so maybe you will wear a tighter fitting shirt. Or for if you're going into work, it might be I want to feel really confident, and this outfit is my sort of my confidence outfit. So your mood really does play a big part in how you want your clothing to look and feel. And often with my work, for me personally, when I'm with my kids, I want things to be fun, and I love The Lion King, and I bought this little top that has like pictures of Simba all over it, and of course I proceeded to sing Hakuna Matata all morning to my kids whilst wearing it. It's so much fun, and I wore it because I loved it. I didn't care if no one else liked it. It was for me, and it makes such a difference to your day when you wear things that you love, and it makes you feel really good.
Yeah, it's funny. My daughter, I'm 52 very, very soon, and my daughter says to me, I still think you're the only dad, one, that knows how to do the moonwalk, but that I'll go out in the streets, or I'll go out to her dance thing wearing a Minion shirt or my Goofy shirt, or just something with a funny character on it, because it makes me feel good. But it just reminds me that I am still just a big kid, and you shouldn't have to give that up.
No, and who really wants to grow up, really?
No, I don't.
I don't. I like keeping it young and fresh and happy, and I don't think anybody wants to dress old. I think that's the other thing that does make a big difference in people's wardrobes, and I hear this all the time, that as we get through our 20s, it's sort of like it was easy to choose the clothes on what to wear, but as you get older, sometimes, especially women, maybe feel like if it's not age appropriate, or how short can I wear my skirts and dresses, or really, is it okay for me to show a little bit of cleavage? And
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Most boys don't.
I must admit, within reason, like I will see some women wearing a top and they've got that much cleavage hanging out that I'm thinking there's a limit to looks good to it's just way over the top. And I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a prude. Oh, geez, I hope not. I hope not. But sometimes I just see it, I'm going, oh, that's just way too much cleavage hanging out.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the time when people do that, they either do it unknowingly or they're doing it for a specific reason. So maybe they are on the look for a spouse or a partner, and they're doing it or they're young and they just not thinking, or they've paid a lot of money for them and they want to show those girls off.
I know, but when you look at them, if you stare too long, all of a sudden they look at you like you're a pervert, and you go, well, I'm not. I'm trying to keep eye contact. I'm doing my best. It's like keep focus on the eyes, focus on the eyes, focus on. Do not look down. Do not look down. Damn it, I looked down. I paused too long, and I paused when I looked down.
And so I think it's called peripheral vision, right? You've got to get really good at that. But when it comes to clothing, when you look at a person standing there, the first thing you're going to see is the contrast between where their clothing meets their skin. And so just put it down to the fact that it was the contrast.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't actually staring at their boobs. I was staring at the contrast between their skin and where the fabric met the skin.
And I was saying, I was told by a professional that is the right thing to do. I was actually watching do you remember Benny Hill?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Benny Hill, I remember this skit, and there was this girl wearing this short skirt, and she's sitting on this chair, and then she's wearing a short skirt and a top, and she's on the chair, and she kept sort of crossing her leg from one side to the other side. And as she's doing it, there's Benny Hill and his four mates. They're all down the beach, and they're all going, oh, every time she was moving her legs, because they couldn't quite see what was going on. So all of a sudden, she stood up, and she walked in this little room, came back out just wearing a bikini, and they went, oh, and they walked away.
That is so true. I think sometimes the less you reveal, the more people want to see.
It's the mystery.
It is the mystery. That's pretty funny skit. That's a good one. It's like the Sharon Stone, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I remember when that first came out, and it was on a videotape. And when you went and hide the videotape, all of a sudden it got to that part, and it started going a bit scratchy because it had been paused that many times. Pause, rewind, pause, rewind, pause, rewind, slow motion, pause, rewind. That by the time I got the video, it was like, and then it sort of went on. I went, hang on, I think I missed that scene that everyone was talking about.
Yes, it does. I think when it comes to the female body, we have a lot more power than we realize in terms of what we can wear and how we can wear it to, and girls can wear stuff often they say, oh, yep, I've got that meeting, I'll wear this, something a bit tighter, but I don't always think that's the appropriate thing to do. But we're women and we've got shape, and look, guys can definitely look magnetic as well. And I think sometimes charisma shows through. So when you're wearing things that make you look and feel really good, there's just this certain type of charisma that happens naturally. And because you're not thinking about your clothes, but everybody else can see something really special about you that would otherwise have been missed.
Yeah, but I think clothing fit is quite important. I know some people that just wear really oversized, big, bright, like Hawaiian type shirts all the time. And you sort of go, it does absolutely nothing for them. If they sort of just change that slightly, they would actually look better.
Oh, for sure. And because people get comfortable too. So we've dressed ourselves for our whole lives. And so when you buy something that maybe one time that person got a really great compliment on the Hawaiian shirt,
yeah.
And so then they just wear them all the time. Or it could be that they've maybe just been buying them and they've got a whole heap of them, they've lost weight, and so it doesn't look that great. But definitely fit is huge in making sure. And things used to be made, tailor-made, and everything's off a rack these days, so it's never going to fit you perfectly. And often people don't get things altered, and it could just be a little tweak, like getting the seams taken in at the sides. Or for men, one of my pet hates is when the trousers are too long and you only want one break in your pants. So a break is that crease line where your pants meet sort of your shoes.
Yeah.
So you only want one of those, and if it's too long, they just need to get taken up because it does look really good. And men's shoes, women always look at men's shoes.
I've heard that. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Always.
What is it you're looking for in the shoe?
Just that they look nice and new and looked after, and maybe we think that if you look after your shoes, you'll look after us. I don't know.
I thought you were just looking at the size of their feet.
Well, it could be that too. It's not just, clothes maketh a man. I think it's the shoes maketh a man too. So, shoes are really important. I think often they're the last thing, like people forget about them, and because shoes do last often for quite a long time, and men love comfort.
Oh, yeah.
They often tend to just wear them to death to the point that they don't look so great anymore. So definitely, if there's anyone listening out there and you're looking down at your feet and you're wearing really old shoes, go get some new ones.
No, that makes sense. And shoes, like I said, guys usually have black, tan. I have black, tan, and white. So my white ones are skate shoes, so I'm not like off of Miami Vice with the white dress pair. Don't have them anymore. Used to, though. Used to in the 80s. So, Gerlinda, I got one final question for you. And this is the question I ask everybody as an indication that I'm bringing this conversation to an end. I forgot to warn you about this question, actually. It's Monday morning. You're cutting through the shopping centre to buy yourself some clothes. You're standing there, you're looking at the racks. A person looks at you and says, Gerlinda, you're that personal stylist that I heard on It's No Secret with Dr. T. You seem to know your stuff. What's the number one tip that you would give me today to sort of just get what I'm wearing in order? What should I go home and do right now?
You should go home, look in your wardrobe, pull out a piece that you absolutely love and wear it. Don't save it. Pull it out and wear it. Often we save clothes for special occasions, and if there's not something that you love in there, go and buy something new that you do love that makes you feel amazing.
That is great advice. I heard a lady say, there was a lady that I listened to once. This is a serious thing now. The first serious thing we talk about today. But she was really healthy, but then all of a sudden she got diagnosed with cancer, and they said, you've probably only got 12 months to live. And she went home a bit depressed. The good news is she did survive. She ended up beating it. But what she did over that, when she got home, she started looking around the house and she started wearing all the clothes that she only wore on special occasions. She got rid of her dinner set that she put up with day after day that was rubbish, and pulled out a really nice one that she only brought out for special occasions. And she started just all the things that she was only keeping for special times, she started using them because she thought, I've only got 12 months to live. Once she was cured, and all that, she kept that going, that she dressed her best all the time. She used the good cutlery. She used the silverware. I just think there's a great advice that people need to sort of remind themselves about. It's every day is a special day.
Every day is a special day, and that's a beautiful story for us, and that's a really great one because every day is a special day to be alive. And we want to we want to make the most of it.
Yeah, I agree. So, Gerlinda, thank you so much for being on It's No Secret with Dr. T. I've learned heaps. I think I figured out that I dress appropriately most times. And I hope everybody listening to this has got something out of this as well. And like I said right at the beginning, guys, when it comes to dress sense, yes, sometimes you need to listen to your wife, but sometimes just listen to your inner voice, I think. What do you reckon?
Definitely.
Okay, Gerlinda, thank you again for being on It's No Secret with Dr. T. I've had a lot of fun.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I'm sure everybody learned something today about style, maybe a little bit about fashion, about colours, body shapes, your personality, and when you sometimes do need to take advice from other people about what you're wearing and maybe what just makes you feel good. Now remember, if you want to get in contact with Gerlinda Stella, just go to Gerlinda, GERLINDA.com.au. And while you're there, you can also find out about Gerlinda's workshops, Does My Butt Look Big in This? So my guest next week is Calvin Wayman. Now you may remember that name if you've been listening to It's No Secret with Dr. T from the beginning. Calvin Wayman was on episode 5 and it was titled Fish Out of Water. This time I got Calvin to come back because he's done a lot over the last 12 months. And he's on this journey that he calls the Millionaire Journey. Here's a little snippet of what's coming up next week.
Like making $1 million by itself doesn't matter. I wanted to put the emphasis on the millionaire, like the person that is the person of a millionaire, because that is different. Like the millionaire that changed and wasn't just doing something just for money, but embodies a millionaire. This is what's freaking beautiful about that. You take away his money, and what happens? He'll freaking figure out a way, or she will figure out a freaking way to make it back.
I must admit, I was so pumped after talking to Calvin Wayman. He shares a couple of absolute gems during this conversation that I tell you right now, once you listen to it, you're going to go, why did I not think of these ideas beforehand? And one of them has to do with being able to attend events and not even pay for them. So you definitely need to tune in next week and have a listen to Calvin. So after listening to this show today, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, tf@tysonfranklin.com, or go to my website, tysonfranklin.com, and you can leave comments after each show. And I must admit, I absolutely love putting this show together each week. I love the guests that I have on here, and I learn so much. And if you feel the same, please feel free to tell your friends, family, and work colleagues about It's No Secret with Dr. T. I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, that's it from me. Take care of yourselves, look after your family, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye for now.